From a rooftop in Nade, Seth studied the field of good and evil as its lines of probability writhed over the city-state. Evil twisted to the east, an obsidian vortex darker than the night, swallowing the translucent strands of good, or at least, whatever vestige of good remained in the city. Probabilities were building. Soon, evil would strike, a fire here, a string of brawls there, thefts, and murder, if not outright massacre. Seth scrambled for the vortex, clutching his freshly cut staff. A roofer by trade, his heels knew how to tread the steep inclines, and by sapping bits of probability with the oak, his rawhide sandals all but glided along the tiles. The row of pitched roofs ended, with a 15-foot gap between Seth and the next gable. He didn't pause. Rather, he squeezed his staff and took a running leap. By all human probability, he should have plunged 6 stories, his body broken upon the cobblestone alleyway. Instead, he felt his palms tingle as his staff borrowed from the translucent filaments above. Good probabilities flowed through him. His feet dangled in the air, and after a moment of vertigo, he landed. The jump forgotten, Seth ran, his legs flowing without thought, his focus on the twisting lines of obsidian, and the shouts and screams ahead. He descended, halting at the eaves. Down below, in dim pools of streetlight, a 5-foot man leaned against a row house, his bulky arms wrapped across his flab. A woman, taller by a head, paced semicircles about him, flailing her arms and shrieking incoherence. Even from 6 stories down, the man radiated irritation, his right cheek convulsing with scowls. Seth didn't know what this was about. He didn't need to know. Strands of evil whirled above the couple, tensing to the breaking point, ready to explode over the city. He stretched his staff toward the vortex and opened his mouth. As the epicenter burst, he pulled the probabilities down and evil flowed toward him like lightning. He bottled it into his being. It was akin to sipping a mouthful of wine. Indeed, to some dark part of him, it tasted sweet. It urged him to swallow. He knew he mustn't do that. On its own, the evil would seep in after half a day, but Seth vowed to expel it before dawn. He'd make sure of it. On the street, the woman drifted away in silence while the squat man, his scowl dissolved, combed his fingers through thinning hair and went his way. Above, the obsidian web relaxed between translucent strands, reflecting the perpetual stalemate, the balance of good and evil. There would be no wave of tragedy tonight.